Hi, boys and girls. We're going to listen to part of the story, The Invisible Boy. I want you to pay close attention to details and how Brian is feeling in this part of the story. Are you ready? Get those listening ears on.
When the bell rings for recess, Micah and JT take turns choosing kids for their kickball teams. The best players get picked first. Then, the best friends of the best players. Then, the friends of the best friends. Only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping.
Okay, I want us to pay attention to Brian's body language here. It says, only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. Now we're going to answer some questions. I took a screenshot of that picture of Brian and put it on our page here so we can use it to refer back to the text. How does Brian feel when kids are picking teams? So we want to know how Brian feels, but we also want to use information from the text to help us. So we can take a look at this picture and let's see what it says again. Only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. So how does he feel when they're picking teams? We can say that Brian is feeling hopeful because right here it says he is hoping. So we're using information from the text to answer our question. Hoping. So since it says hoping, we can say he is hopeful. The next question says, what detail in the text or picture helps you know how Brian feels? So we can also use the picture to help us explain how Brian feels. What does he look like in this picture? What is his body language showing us? How are his eyes? Look at his hands and his mouth. We can say the text is saying Brian is hoping because we read that right here. He's hoping. And the picture shows his eyes are big and his eyebrows are up. So we answered both parts of this question. The first part was what details in the text or picture helps you. So we gave both details from the text and from the picture. The picture showing us high eyebrows. His face kind of looks like he's smiling. He really wants to be picked. Let's look at the last question. What in the story makes him feel that way? How do you know he feels this way? Brian is waiting and hoping to be chosen for a kickball team. So he feels this way, hopeful, because he wants to be chosen for the kickball team. We got all of this information from the picture and from this line of text. So from all of this, we learned that Brian feels hopeful because it says he's still waiting and hoping. What details did we use? We used the details straight from the text and the picture showing that he looks excited to get picked. And why does he feel that way? Because he's hoping to be chosen for a kickball team. Underneath, I can draw a picture of how Brian feels.